This is episode 13 of Stiff Right Hand. I'm the Dominator, Stu Allen, and here I am. Yes, I'm here.
He once punched his mother in her mammary glands. It's angry Stu Allen of Stiff Right Hand.
Enough of that bollocks. This is me. Hello, thanks for listening. I'm Stu Allen, and welcome to another edition of Stiff Right Hand. Sorry for the delay. Everyone's been poorly, see? And my wife's here.
I'm here, and I am also poorly.
Yeah, don't breathe too heavily over me.
I'm breathing on the microphone so all the listeners get it and all.
I might... No, don't do that. I've got to wipe that. It's clean now.
Yeah.
I might take a photograph of us both just so people can realise how poorly you are.
I am fucking poorly. I don't know that anyone needs to see my pasty mug haunting their phone screen, so to be honest.
But no, I think there's dear old Jim from the Rock Show live who...
I blame him, really.
Yeah, he produces my show for me, and he's been so ill he couldn't do it. So you've got two for the price of one this week. You got last week's show, which was obviously show 12, and I think this was... I've lost count of my own shows. This is show 13. We were going to have an interview with Logan Price on this week, but for reasons which I'm not going into, we're not doing it now. So we're going to... I've got lots of things to discuss. First of all, we went out last night, didn't we?
Yeah, it was fucking lovely. Went to that Webb's.
You hashtagged it wrong.
I spelt it wrong, I realised, but never mind.
You hashtagged it wrong on Instagram because you, being a food wanker, took all pictures of lovely food. We had some wonderful food, lovely. If anyone feels inclined to come to Hastings, I don't know why you would, but if you do, should you? In the old town, there's a lovely place called Webb's, and it's a fish restaurant, and it's a high-level fish restaurant. We're not talking any of your shit. We're not talking any fucking low budget stuff here. Any Sanjay Bagger style.
What's Sanjay done to
He
you?
goes to the shit restaurants, doesn't he?
Does he go to Harry Ramsden's?
No, but he does like a cheeky Nando's.
I just want to punch you in the face when you say that.
Yeah, because I invented it. So, tell us about the meal. It was good, wasn't it? We had a lovely smoked... am I shouting?
You're fucking shouting right in my face. I'm not a big fan of it.
I told you already about this. This is why I roll. This is, I'm feeling ill by proxy just being next to you. You stink of sick.
Well, I just need you to stop shouting in my face and I'll stop breathing on you. How about that?
Well, due to the nature of us having one microphone, we kind of have to do it this way. And I'm not changing my ways for no one, see? So yeah, we had a lovely smoked board. It's a lovely wooden board, which is all a bit wanky. But
well, the board wasn't smoked, was it? The fish were.
Right, then for you know, and it was nice.
Smoked board. Oh, lovely bit of smoked board. Oh, catch of the day, smoked board. Fucking sounds.
There's only one person who's bored, and that's me. If you're shit.
Well done.
So it was good, and I got told off for manhandling all the food.
You actually brushed your beard with a fork, and you kept touching all the food. Actually, yeah.
Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Cut.
Right, go on. Explain your way out of this one.
Well, by the time I was scratching my face with my beard with the fork, I was already the main course, and I hadn't used the fork.
No, it's because you were
for
touching
the starter,
all the food.
So I was using everything with my hands.
Yeah, I don't think I ate anything at all last night that you hadn't touched first.
That doesn't matter, we're all friends here.
Well, yeah, true. But
what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine as well.
I can't be sure that you weren't
if they will insist on giving me laying food in front of me that looks like pretty parcels, don't expect me not to unravel them and make them into human-sized pieces, because that's what this essentially was. It was all nicely rolled up bits of fucking...
Basically what you're saying is, like, if you go to a restaurant, don't bother presenting anything nice, because you're just gonna smash it all up.
It's all gonna come out as poo at the end of the day, isn't it? It's all gonna come out of mushed up blood out my arse. That's what poo is.
I'm depressed now.
It's all from Biology Week on Stiff Right Hand.
Biology Bear. Stiff Right Hand.
Poo Poo Bum Bum Week. So, I unravelled it all and I sniffed everything, and Tom was like, oh, God. So next time we have one of those things, what we'll just get a divider down the middle of the thing, So you can have your side, I can have mine.
Yeah,
and
you
then
could just not touch everything
never
on
the
the
twain
board,
will
so,
meet.
I mean, that'd be fine.
But it doesn't matter, because I haven't got... Well, what's wrong with my fingers? I didn't have pooey fingers. Or
I don't know
I
that.
didn't fiddling with my taint or cock.
Probing your taint with greasy
yeah,
fingers.
And even if I had, it's mine and you're more, so what the fuck? Just eat my...
I don't want to eat taint salmon.
Tainted fish, baby. So, yeah, do that next time. And then afterwards we had the lovely scallops, and they were nice. Didn't like them shit they were with too much, but Pontus
Do you mean parsnip puree?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of that at all.
It was a clever dish. It was very foodie.
Yeah, so there you go, that was that. And then, what else?
But what else did we eat, or just what?
No, what else did I get admonished for? Farting into a tube.
Oh no, that was a different night. Tell them about the fart tube, if you will.
Well, it was a giant... Tana's got this thing about snacks, as you all know, having to munch away through everything. Munches away through
I have
life.
this thing about snacks because my meals get manhandled. So
It's the way I used to smoke cigarettes, because it's a hand-to-mouth thing. You've got the same thing, but with snacks.
Yeah.
Mine's with delicious nicotine and drugs. Yours is with...
delicious snacks.
Yours is with delicious snacks, and so I like to do hand-to-mouth.
I fucking love snacks. That's
Yeah,
just,
no
stop
shit,
a sec.
everyone
I
knows.
love snacks so much. And if you want to give me some free snacks, please go ahead.
Unless anyone's fucking bothered to listen to last week's episode, managed to dip it in their pockets to buy me a fucking telescope, then you ain't having no more snacks.
No, I'm having snacks. I'm having them.
Seriously.
You're stopping me. Stop saying hashtag.
Hashtag neighbour watch.
Fucking idiot.
Hashtag neighbours up something.
Yeah, I'm
hashtag
having snacks.
My.
You are never going to get me to
telescope.
stop having snacks.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, fart tube.
So yeah, it was a giant Smartie. It wasn't the regular little Smarties tube. It was the big fucking one full of the orange Smarties.
The Christmas special orange Smartie.
And so I sort of hauled myself to one side, and Tan heard a "Bah!" and she looked at me and she said, "Have you just farted into the tube?" And I said, "Yeah." But I trapped it straight away with
It was one of those ones with a click lid, wasn't it?
Yeah, I corked it immediately and was fucking made up, because I thought, I'm going to do an experiment here.
I was fucking furious.
I'm going to do an experiment and see if I can last for 2 weeks and open it. And I said, do they stay or will it evaporate? So I thought, I'm going to hold this in this fart tube. And then last night I was bored, so I thought, I'm going to check it out. And
No, you were going to throw it at me.
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Don't lie.
It's not
Don't
throwing
lie
star,
to
it's
me.
a fart in a tube.
You were going to unleash that fart that you thought was in the tube.
No, I just wanted it was an experiment, and then if it had worked, then I'd have done that and
Yeah.
farted again and then thrown it at her. But I sniffed it and then I was like, there's nothing there. And she was at the corner of her eye, all like, all snapping, smirking. I came in here another time when you wasn't looking and let it out. Like of some sort of fucking
Yeah, it was my James Bond mission. It was literally the
idiot fart ninja.
The next day, I came in and opened that tube and let
some
it
sort
out
of fucking-
because I knew you were going to throw it at
Some
me.
sort of Mission Impossible upside down wire dodging lasers to let out a fart. What a shit end to that story.
I am the new James Bond. Dr. Fart Tube.
Brilliant. This movie sucks.
Well, so I fooled another one of your plans. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, pretty pissed off. But I'm going to do it again. And I would have got away with it this time, phoning for those pesky kids.
Well, I'm never going to stop.
We better say a thing like wrestling, because otherwise everyone would have tuned out by now. We've done 10 minutes of mention of wrestle. Wrestling. Survivor Series was on.
Was it?
And we missed it.
We did.
Next! No, I saw him.
Can't we get that idiot in your pocket that eats Ferrero Rochers?
Yeah, little man's going to be on. He's
Can't
going to
he
be
do
talking
it?
about things.
Let him do that.
He's going to be talking about stuff. Little man Dan. But my no, I haven't seen the Survivor Series. I guess it wasn't up to much, so I didn't even say much on social media about it.
Well, I saw that Triple H walked into the stage. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but I did see some NXT, and NXT was awesome. Aleister Black, awesome. I was glad they brought back the War Games thing. I think NXT products shit hot, and I really like it, and I enjoy watching them.
You like it?
Yeah, I do. I really like NXT. But what's more important, I'd really like Aleister Black.
Oh, you like him?
Yeah, I do.
You like him, you really like him.
Yeah.
Yes, don't set me up for my joke.
I'm just want to get it out of the way because it's crap. So, let's talk about...
some current affairs.
I want to talk about some current affairs now. I want to talk about the engine room of the national obesity crisis, Greggs.
Well, I've got a lot to say about Greg.
They've got in trouble for put doing a nativity scene, but putting a sausage roll in the manger,
That's superb.
It's fucking funny.
That's fantastic.
Everyone's all up in arms about it. Everyone knows Jeebus was a pizza. You can't be upset about it.
Sticky bun.
Jeebus don't not exist, but anyways.
Except in jam donut form.
Yeah, Jeebus was a fucking profiterole. You can't be upset about it.
So like, the religious types all angry about it then?
Yeah, I didn't think. Look, yeah, they were legitimately there's heated, but Greggs have had to apologise for it.
Do you know why I feel like it is acceptable for Greggs to have used a sausage roll instead of Jesus?
Why?
In the nativity. Say sausage backwards.
Yeah, for Egypt, applesauce.
Okay, so say Jesus backwards.
No, sausage. Yeah, okay.
Sausage.
Maybe that's where it's all come from.
Yeah, so yeah.
Maybe that's where it's all come
Illuminati, I think so.
Maybe that is exactly where it's all come from.
Myth busted! Next.
No, not next. So in the Metro, it says Greggs the Baker has apologised for swapping Jesus for a sausage roll.
That sounds like it's accidental.
No good for you guys, but there's the picture of it.
Oh, well, let me describe it. There's
the three wise men and the sausage roll. There's nothing that needs
describing. There's three wise men, and
it shows a nativity scene with the three wise men gathered around a pastry instead of Christ.
And the sausage rolls had a bite taken out of it. So.
Christian Twitter user said the advert was disrespectful. I'm glad Christians kicked off and Greggs apologised, wrote one Twitter user. No other religion would stand for that nonsense. Well, probably...
a sausage roll instead of Muhammad?
No, they just can't kill everyone. Other people joining calls for organisations to respect all faiths equally, not to be portrayed with pastry snacks.
I
think it's fucking funny.
I think it's funny. Everyone needs to stop taking themselves so fucking seriously.
Come on, man.
Everyone needs to just have a laugh at themselves like those Muslims do.
Yeah, everyone needs to chill out, man. I'm not religious. I respect and I wouldn't say I respect them, but I'm kind of envious of people who do believe, and that's all cool. But I'm also like a sausage roll in the manger.
I'm just like, I am a big fan of snacks, and I'm personally offended because the steak slice is clearly a superior snack to a sausage roll.
Yes.
So if we're going to go for
the stakes are high.
Oh, I'm going to punch you in the face as hard as I can.
Oh, it's not very hard then. But listen, I think it doesn't matter. It's Christmas time. Let's all chill out and have a laugh.
Yeah, and Christmas is for everyone.
If Jeebus is a sausage,
yeah, sausage
Who am I to disagree? There's another story, the Metro. This is a local story, this.
Why do you love the Metro so much?
Because who I get on my snooze. A hunt saboteur claims he was whipped 17 times with a riding crop by a woman on a horse while she was monitoring a hunt event. Footage shows the rider shouting, "Get off my horse," as she lashed out at the masked man as she continued to shout, "Get back to the road." It was filmed during a ride by the East Sussex and Romney Marsh Hunt Club on Saturday in Pevensey, so it's right close to us. The saboteur then claims that she used her horse to push them back. The horse with his hands pushing them back, while another masked man rushes in front of the horse. So I've seen this video, and it's bullshit. And I'll tell you why. These saboteurs are absolutely... Listen, I'm not pro-hunting, actually. I'm not either way, because...
Well, they're not allowed to legally fucking hunt, so why are they sabotaging a not hunt?
No, well, no, there are hunts, but they're not full hunts. But anyway, these saboteurs are still there. And saboteurs are fucking dangerous people. They don't just go out and plant aniseed balls to fucking to throw the dogs off the scent. They cause unnecessary. I've seen them with my own eyes when I used to live there near the place in Oxfordshire. I used to do the cat testing. We used to have people protesting down there, and they're throwing bottles and that at police horses. Hold on, you're pro-animal, but yet you're fucking slashing at police horses. You're a bunch of fucking cunts.
Do they think that police horses are cars?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they work for the police, therefore they're police as well. They just got long noses and that. So, but no, you're a cunt. And so these saboteurs are no better. And this one, I've seen the video of it. It does look like she's not pushing them back with the horse. That's physically impossible. she's
Dob in!
No, but what she is doing is kind of rounding them up in a safe way and saying, look, get over there now, fuck off. And then one guy grabs hold of the reins and he's pulling and pulling. Now, if that horse will either jump up and kick him, or throw her off. Either way, one of those two is probably getting killed. So she was quite rightly whacking him with her fucking rein.
Well, not to mention the horse.
And said, "Get the fuck off." The horse was getting really distressed. And I think, do you know what? All these people that are up in arms about it, fuck off. You know, I'm fed up with people being so boring. Is it, am I right to be offended? Well, it's my right to fucking offend you. Now, fuck off. And all these people going on about, you know, how it was so out of order. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't. If you're out on a horse doing whatever hobby it is, no one was getting killed. And someone could have been killed. And if that guy's just got 12... wallops to the head with a fucking leather stick, then fucking good.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, but it was because round here, like, you can't undertake a full hunt. Like, you are not, like, that is actually against the law. So they're protesting what, the pomp and ceremony of
quite, and it wasn't and it wasn't even that, because they're all getting ready, because it's this time of year, isn't it? We have one in battle.
Yeah, but
when
again,
everyone goes
nothing
out
gets
and
killed.
No, it's all the fucking trumpets, the dogs go out, and everyone has a thoroughly good time. I'm not saying I'm for it, however, I do, if I'm honest, like the tradition of it. Just because
I like it as long as no animals get killed.
Yeah, as long as no animals get fucking killed.
Fine.
And no,
if it's dogs and horses tearing through a field, fucking lovely, crack on, okay? You don't need to kill a fox.
Yeah, nothing needs to fucking get killed over it, but by the same token, these pricks going out there trying to get people off the top of a horse, that's dangerous shit, man. Yeah, fuck you guys. If you've got a larrick round the head, then fucking good. Yeah, watch that on Google, it's good fun. What else has happened? Well, nothing really today. You've been off ill, haven't you?
Yeah, I've just been in a nest.
You've been in your little la-la land, your little sickly world.
Yeah, I did a little bit of Xbox, that's about it.
What are you doing?
I'm playing Witcher 3
on
again.
your Witcher?
Yeah.
Let's talk about our show then, because this week we're going to be recording a piece for our friends at the Rock Show Live, who are going to be promoting our Academy show. So that's going to be you.
Yeah.
And the superstar Jeff Leppard.
Yo, you're fucking joking. Not the Jeff fucking
The
Leppard.
Jeff Leppard, mate. The Jeff Leppard.
I like it when Jeff tells his origin story, which is literally this. I used to be in Eden, and then Scarlet hit me so hard it made me awesome, and Jeff Leppard was born.
She literally punched a new character out of him. Well done. Punched a gimmick out of some bloke's head.
I punched a gimmick out. I think it might be a personality disorder caused by like brain trauma.
That could be a good thing down the line we could work towards. Good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to be on that promoting our Academy show, which is coming up next. When this drops, this will be this weekend. So it will be in fact next Saturday night, which is December the 2nd. The first time we've ever been to Battle Memorial Hall in lovely Battle East Sussex. Come along. And come along and support the guys and girls from the Extreme Academy.
And a few of your seasoned professionals as well.
Yeah, we've thrown some of them in as well on babysitting duty.
Babysitting duty. Just add in a little bit of structure.
Yes, a little bit of much needed
guidance.
Yeah,
just to rally the babies,
boys and girls, to make sure no
and
one
if any
poos
of
their
you
pants.
kids do anything stupid, I'll be on hand to punch you.
So that's good.
See, I told you I was sick. I think I've got the plague.
I think you've come down with a nasty case of consumption.
I've got black lung,
Yes.
pleurisy, leprosy, and some others.
Sodomy.
So
listen, enough of that. I want to go over now without any further ado and take you to my old mate, Little Man Dan, with Wrestle Wrap Up.
Yeah, pocket nonce.
Don't say that.
Giving you your weekly dose of a kick in the nuts, this is Stiff Right Hand.
Hey, what's up? I am back on the Stiff Right Hand podcast here with the Wrestle Wrap Up. If you want to see the news more in depth, go to youtube.com/wrestle Wrestle Wrap Up. In fact, you can also check out a live vlog that I did at the recent EWW event in Hastings. Go check it out, youtube.com/Wrestle Wrap Up. But on with some of the news from this week. Ever since January the 14th and 15th, where WWE hosted a UK tournament in Blackpool, since Tyler Bate won the UK title in the finals against Pete Dunne, well now Pete Dunne's the champion, we've seen UK superstars make appearances at NXT and 205 Live. We've seen the United Kingdom title defender on the independent scenes and at NXT TakeOver events, most recently Pete Dunne defending the UK title against Johnny Gargano at NXT TakeOver War Games. There's been a lot of speculation that the UK could be bringing in a TV show. All the way back in the day, back in January, they did do, I believe, some kind of preview taping, some kind of pilot episodes, I believe. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they did. Now, over the last couple of weeks and last month or so, there's been rumours that there's been talks again with ITV, with WWE bringing in a show called WWE UK King of the Ring. Now, there's speculation by Cage Side Seats that filming will be starting pretty soon. In fact, could be sometime early next year. But until then, we're going to see the stars of the UK scene appear on NXT and 205 Live, so the buzz does not die down. Expect the UK title to still be defended at other promotions, but especially when the show kicks off, I can assume as well, on the WWE network. So if you're excited for that, if you enjoyed the tournament, get excited about that. But look, quicker news. Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, the Bludgeon Brothers, they made their debut or re-debut on SmackDown Live this week. I've got to admit, their entrance is pretty cool with the big hammers and everything. They look like a good tag team, but they're no longer called Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. In fact, their new names, just Harper and Rowan. Looks like WWE are going back just the one name. Do you remember Biggie Langston went to Biggie, Antonio Cesaro went to Cesaro, and it looks like the same has happened to Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, now going under the names of Harper and Rowan. I think that sounds actually quite powerful. I like those names. They are good, solid wrestling names. But on to something a bit more mainstream. PW Insider have published a report that next year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view will feature superstars from both Raw and SmackDown. Now, there's been 18 Money in the Bank matches in WWE history. In fact, there was history making this year, with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which was won by Carmella. Who knows when she will cash in? But it looks like we could be seeing it being dual branded once again. Like I said, back in July, it was a SmackDown exclusive show, and I think it's right for it to be a kind of dual brand. I think Money in the Bank should be one of the big four pay-per-views, or in this case, it should be big five. You've got Rumble, you've got Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and I think Money in the Bank genuinely is up there because it is a real swift changing gear in the WWE product. Don't know what I'm saying, but it's a gear changer, it's a game changer for WWE Money in the Bank. So next year, expect it to be Raw and SmackDown Live. But let me know all your thoughts about all the news over on my channel, youtube.com/Wrestle Wrap Up, because that's a wrap.
Read all about it. Doug Williams smashed in Scarlett's Minky.
Yeah, welcome to Stiff Right Hand. Yeah. So, thank you, Randy Cabbage.
Oh my god.
So, there we go. Little man Dan.
He was here.
Thanks for that.
He loves it, doesn't he, little man Dan?
He's good. He's good to have about. Because it saves me having to get a Sky Sports subscription. So, there you go. So what you're eating? I can't help but see you got some miniature brains there, or are they walnuts?
It's a mixture of fruit and nuts, including pistachio, hazelnuts and macadamia. Thank you for asking.
I like mustachios.
Oh.
Listen, you've just done an interview, haven't you?
Yeah, I've just been interviewed for The Rock Show.
For The Rock
by
Show
the gym, by Big Jim.
Big Jim, he's not that big really.
No, he said that I wasn't...
He's very shiny, he's got very shiny cheeks.
He said I wasn't to tell you that he called you a mug. Said you were a little melt and all.
Fucking...
That's what he said. Told you, Jim. Told you I'd drop you in it.
I say about that.
He didn't really say that.
So yeah, we're advertising our show again next Saturday, folks, December 2nd. So I hope you said lots of good things on there.
Yeah, it was nice. I talked about the matches, told the story of the brand extension. That was kind of nice. Just explained that even though I'm really cold as ice and like chill on here, like I really do give a shit about the academy and
of course you fucking do.
And why this has been a little bit of a labour of love for me, because everything's really fucking busy at the minute, but it's really, really important that this show is successful.
Well, I've ran several wrestling schools. Really funny enough, do you know, I probably don't even know if you know this, but my first ever wrestling school was in Banbury.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, the Thunderstorm Wrestling Academy was in Banbury, which is where you trained. The Thunderstorm Wrestling Academy.
Well, also you can't really say I trained in Banbury because nobody really trained in Banbury.
No.
Not where I went anyway.
No. And then Tame, and then now, well, when we were at the Hive, it was fucking, it was just like me, you and Dave.
Yeah, that's how it started.
So the fact that we've got a full fucking academy with 15 girls and boys and putting on shows, I'm well happy with that. That's great.
It makes me feel good knowing that we're going to leave the business in a better state than when we found it.
Oh, not necessarily.
Alright, well I am.
Yeah. So, so let's hope so, and it's good for the future. But anyway, talking of things of wrestling school nature, I'm going to go now to my interview with he's my guest of the week. He's the man who brought Lucha wrestling to the UK and has done it very fucking well as well. My dear old friend Garry Vanderhorne, the head honcho of Lucha Britannia. So here's my conversation with him.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth, you cock jazz. This is Stiff Right Hand.
Right, I'm Stu back to the hand. I've got my special guest this week. He is he's essentially the king of the Rocket Men in UK English wrestling. He is the leader of Lucha Britannia, along with Greg Burridge. Hello, Garry Vanderhorne.
Hello, glad to be a guest on your show.
How you doing, brother? Are you keeping well?
Yeah, really good. Really good. Super busy.
Well, you're always busy. Let me start off with you and how on earth did you get involved in this stupid world of wrestling that we're doing? So I know you were, before that, you were big into the music scene. So tell me how you got distracted into this ludicrous world.
Oh, dear. Well, I've always been a wrestling fan since I was a kid in the 80s, and I'm very old now, so I do remember the world of sport wrestling like very clearly, and I do remember the onslaught of the American product coming over in the 80s and kind of essentially destroying the British.
Were you a fan of the British Snow beforehand?
Oh yeah, of course. Family, with my nan and granddad.
That's what I like to do, man. The amount of people I speak to recently, the first memories I had of wrestling is watching old VHWF, and I'm like, no, that's not real wrestling.
No. As a kid, I was 5 in 1977. I can remember watching people like Cat Weasel and Nick McManus and Billy Tarantus and just it was the thing to do back then was Saturday World of Sport. You watched it and it was brilliant.
Fantastic. No, that's exactly what I was hoping to hear. But your music career, because I remember you, I'd heard about you from a couple of friends of mine, and I think the first time I met you was it was a Leeville gig, wasn't it, in Camden?
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
And got chatting to you, and you were promoting this mad-looking event, and I thought, fuck me, that looks really cool. It's always what I thought wrestling should look like. It was all very grungy and grimy, and had that wonderful look about it, Ramwar, and I always thought that was a cool fucking product. God,
yeah, old Ramwar, rock and metal wrestling action.
Yeah, but it was fun, man. That was fucking, we went down to Shoreditch at that time, and the crowd it was the first time I'd ever seen a crowd up close to the ring like that with the live music, and but it worked. It was fucking cool.
It was cool. It was, that was probably something like 2004.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
That's right. That sounds about right to me.
And, when I did get involved in the wrestling industry, I was a fully fledged adult at that time. I think I was about 29 or 30, and most of the people that were, I sort of become friends with that time were about half my age, or between 15 and 20. So they were kids, and I sort of, because of my martial arts background and my performance background and my sports training background and everything, and obviously being a fan of wrestling so long, I picked it up very, very quickly and loved it, and was like, God, we need to do something with this. We need to take it somewhere. And I've been on a sort of crusade. I guess it's 2002, I guess. I've been on a crusade to try and, make wrestling brilliant in Britain again, and I think we're all together getting somewhere with it.
And it is a crusade what you're doing as well, because the one thing I do admire about the way you do your business, mate, is that you don't get involved in all the other silly bollocks that goes around with the wrestling business. You don't get involved in all the silly politics. You're a standout. Essentially, obviously wrestling's a subculture, but you're a subculture within the subculture.
Yeah, I guess so. I deliberately did that as well, because I quickly saw that the way that people were, and to some extent a few people still are, if you're just like trying to be this like on your own thing and your way is the only way, and then there's this other, there's my way is the only way, and then someone else, my way is the only way, and everyone's against each other, there's no industry, because everyone's working against each other. And I saw that very quickly early on. I thought, well, I can't be in that, because that doesn't work. There's no future in that. The future is doing something adjunct to it, and then like making it able for anyone to get on board with it, and then just kind of working with everybody, and gradually, I mean, it's been a long time, but gradually changing perceptions of, actually we're not in competition with each other. We're actually all helping each other to create industry again in the UK. And now, like after all these years, you've done it, I've done it, we've done it together, we've done it separately, but with other people, we've actually created a really good industry again for the first time in 30 years, I would say. Absolutely, I'd agree.
It's the second coming of another golden era, and like I've said before, it ain't going to last fucking forever. But while it does, let's milk it as much as possible.
Well, it shouldn't be like it's going to like come crashing down. It should be that we're still on the way up, and there's a ways to go, I reckon.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I mean, I was saying to I've been speaking to Doug Williams and about obviously you've got people like Johnny Moss who are going to be coming over, bringing the WWE schools over here, and I just worry that a lot of the independents are going to be rolling over and letting their tummies be tickled a bit too much by WWE, and that bothers me.
Well, yeah, there's. Yeah, that probably will happen. But what we've got to do is, join together even more so now than ever.
Totally agree.
To make a stand of like that British wrestling can stand alone away from the American product, because America sees this country and just sees like
100%.
Because the last 10 years we're just producing talent after talent after talent after talent, and considering that our country, our whole United Kingdom fits inside of California, with miles to spare, America doesn't produce the amount of great talents that we produce, like per head. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like I say, we're half the size of the state of Florida. Do you know what I mean? And as you quite rightly said there, I mean, those guys are putting on shows. I've got a lot of contacts in Florida, and they consider a good house 200-300.
Yeah.
And we're knocking that out all the fucking time. Do you know what I mean? It's and like I said, with homegrown talent.
Well, in my own venue at Resistance Gallery, we have 4 completely different, separate wrestling shows every month, and they all sell out.
That's fucking. That's good to hear, man.
They're completely different. There's, there might be 1 or 2 wrestlers that wrestle on like some of the same shows, but they'll do different gimmicks, and the audience is different as well. You've got different.
As I say, they've got their own individual followings as well.
Yeah. There's plenty of room for everybody, but if everybody gets together and works together and helps each other out and stops all this, the internet's been a great thing in a lot of ways, but then in another lot of ways it's been horrible because people can't help let their fingers do the talking, and it's like, just say nice things, don't say horrible things to each other, just support each other, be nice.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I've been guilty of it in the past, but I mean, I've the toxic side of pro wrestling I try and stay away from, really. But that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast. So I thought, well, it's very therapeutic. I get to talk to like-minded people like you and find out that there's great stuff out there that I didn't know. Like the mere fact that you've got Resistance and they've got 4 different shows in there with 4 different types of punters. That's phenomenal. That's great.
Yes, it's good, and that's hopefully this is just the beginning. I mean, you started off, didn't you, in Oxford? I think.
Yeah.
WW, and you built that up, and then you moved down to Hastings, and now you've got a phenomenal product down there. You've got a great training school. You've got some great people around you, and you're passionate about it, and you've never let that. You've always been passionate about it. You've never let that passion dwindle, and you're keen on making industry for the business.
And now, since you mentioned Oxford, whatever happened to Morbid Tony? I'm dying to know.
I think he got dropped on his head one time too many and never came back.
I was always wondering about whatever happened to Morbid Tony and too afraid to ask you, but there we go. But, your school...
Those, they're longer.
He took the gimmick too far and hung himself, maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
But we're talking of wrestling schools. You have a huge... wrestling school, and that you run with Greg Burridge, and
my husband Burridge.
How is Greg?
Yeah,
I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
He's really good. He's on his way back from Thailand right now. He's been doing some martial arts training over there and different things, and doing some stuff because we do a lot of choreography for films, stunt work, fight work. Greg's put a film out. We made a film together called London Rampage, which features a lot of wrestlers in it. And it's basically showcasing that wrestling isn't just for the wrestling ring. You can use wrestling for Hollywood and in movies. And we made a little movie. Greg's in it. We're all in it. And it's called London Rampage.
Is that the one where he's all done up? He's all done up in the army gear?
In a bit of it. It's an East London gangster kind of fight.
Yeah, I saw some nice looking screenshots from it.
Yeah, it's check it out on YouTube. The trailer is it's very stylized and it's got some great things, and obviously it's got you see a few familiar faces in it, like Tiny Irons and Will Ospreay in his motion picture debut, and he's very good as well. So. It's pretty good.
So the last time I saw Greg was, I think it was me, Greg, and yourself down at Baffle Force at Harlow.
Baffle Force.
That still pops me every time I remember you looking at me and saying that, man. That's to this day, that still tickles me for some reason, that. But
that's really well now. Ollie's took that over, took the ball by the horns, and he's going out and doing shows and putting on really good, fun family entertainment shows, which is, creating again more industry. You've got to have different shows for different areas and different demographics and stuff. And he's working at it. He's doing really well.
Well, he seems to be getting more and more venues. So, like I say, again, spread the word and spread it right. But tell me about your wrestling school, because I had Hakan down at our school recently, and he was bigging you guys up huge time, and it's given him a real zest for the wrestling business again, coming to Lucha.
He's a really talented guy, really nice guy, and I think he got burned by it a few years ago and kind of fell out with it. And I don't know, maybe we just got a different outlook on things. Wrestling is an art form, and art never stops evolving. So wrestling doesn't stop evolving, and that means that as an individual within wrestling, you don't stop evolving, and you can't just go, well, that's the way we've always done it, that's the way we're always going to do it. It changes, and it might change in a very small way in sometimes, but other times it changes in a massive way. And I think a lot of that is to do with perception and actually treating wrestling as an art form and taking it really seriously. And then you haven't got these cowboy idiots running around thinking they're mini Vince McMahons. And then you've got a nice environment. People actually enjoy being there. You've got a camaraderie. You make friends. And then you're honing your skills. You've got really good talent around you. And it just builds talent. And, wrestling is a team effort. It isn't an individual solo effort. It's a team effort. And I think a lot of wrestlers, especially older that were trained, like let's say in the 90s and stuff like that. It was all about we've got to be us, ego. We've got to be ourselves. And it's all about me. It's not all about me. It's all about us.
Yeah, it was fucking heartbreaking in back then, man, because I can't remember who I was saying to recently, but when I was breaking into it, all the old guys, they didn't want to help us like we want to help the guys now. No fucker did. No. When I was doing Max Crabtree shows, you had the likes of fucking Johnny Angel and some of the old boys on there who were like looking at you like, who the fuck are you? Do you know what I mean? They didn't want to help you.
No, and it made it really difficult, and it kind of, in a way, only the strongest survive, but not strongest just physically, but strongest mentally. And sometimes those strongest mentally people are horrible people.
Yes.
And they're the ones that got through, and then they start, it's just about changing, isn't it, and evolving and taking all the good things and building on it.
Absolutely. I mean, you're. I don't know how hands-on you are with your school, or whether you let Greg loose or whatever. But how do you instill those sort of old school analogies into the actual teaching itself? Because obviously you have some guys that are already well established. You have guys that are starting from scratch. How do you manage to mould that all together?
We are very hands-on. Me and Greg just do it. We've done it for so long now. I think it's over 7 years that we've done the school, and
wow, that's good.
We're 3 nights a week normally, but like a lot of times we're 4 nights a week now as well. I've got straight from this, I'll be going to a private class with 8 wrestlers and teaching. And so Greg's been away for 3 weeks. So I've been running it on my own, but then I've got other people such as Tom Dawkins, who's awesome. He's my junior trainer.
He's
comes and helps.
Phenomenal talent.
Yeah, he's really, really come on. He's like, what we've done with Will and helped Will get to where he is. That's what we're trying to do with Tom now, and he's really, really.
I love the new gimmick he's doing as well.
Yeah, well, it's totally unique. He's brilliant, and it's completely different from what he was before.
Very cool.
So there's so much good talent now, but as you say, you never stop learning. It's like, when I come and see you, I'm going to learn some things from you. You come and see me, you're going to learn some things from me.
Of course.
And we've been doing it a long time because we never stop learning.
Well, that's what I mean. I love that's why I love talking to people like yourself and that, and obviously seeing you come down in Hastings a few times. It's nice to touch base again, but hearing after all these years that you've still got this enthusiasm for the job, it's very refreshing to hear, because I speak to so many people that are like, oh, I'm not a wrestling promoter, I don't even like wrestling. Well, what the fuck are you doing it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it still attracts occasionally the wrong type of people, but you just have to get on with it, and hopefully they drop out.
Yeah, and it's like your school, like you say, you're creating for want of a better word, it's like a high flying youth club for the like-minded, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we're called the London School of Lucha Libre, but we're not a Lucha Libre school. We're a professional wrestling school, and we teach people professional wrestling. We have all different shapes and sizes, and with wrestling, you're telling stories with your bodies. You can't just tell the same story with the same bodies over and over. You need different body types. You need different styles of wrestling to tell the stories. And yeah, it's kind of like one of the things that people who have come to us have said, oh, I didn't come because I thought you just were doing high flying. It's like, no, of course we're not just doing high flying. We're teaching professional wrestling.
Yeah.
One of our guys, John Ellis, Big John Thug, he's like 6'7", I think 6'8". Wow. It's like, what are we teaching him to do 450s? No, you know what I mean? We've been told we're now the biggest wrestling school in Europe.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, the number of people that come and train with us regularly, and it's just some weeks we have, like on a Monday, we'll have between 30 and 50 people in on a Monday night.
Jesus Christ, man, that's impressive.
Yeah. Yes, and then it used to be Mondays beginners, Tuesdays intermediates, Wednesdays pros, and then private sessions on Thursdays. But now there's such a demand for what we're doing that we split the class now on Monday. So there's a beginners class going on at the same time that there's an intermediates or pros in there. And a lot of the times the pros now, who are working around the country and doing really good, they're still coming to that money class just to go over simple stuff that they've forgotten or stuff they don't get a chance to practice.
And those guys and girls are the keepers, aren't they? They're the ones that are going places.
Yeah. It's an equation, isn't it? You put the effort in, you're going to get the rewards out.
And we never stop learning.
No, that's it. That's what's the good thing. I wish that we'd have had this like it is now, like back, way back then, before we were old and broken.
Yeah, I hear that. It's true. That's why I keep trying to explain to some of my guys. I'm not going to name any names, but I've got a few guys on my shows, and they'll turn up to the school maybe once every 6 weeks, 2 months, and it's almost like they feel too good to train anymore. And I'm thinking, man, if I had that facility, do you know what I mean? I just don't understand. If you can't just want to turn up on fucking show day.
Yeah, that's
never good enough.
Well, I don't know if you do know actually, but when I started out at Dropkicks with Tony Scarlo was teaching there, we learned the world of sports stuff from Tony, which was brilliant. Tony,
great guy,
awesome fella. At that point, there was like the people that were kind of like around me that time when I started. Like Paul Robinson, Ashley Reed, Charlie Rage, Greg Burry, Terry Fraser, Sal Shambles, Marty Skirl, the new breed, Phil Bedwell and Ash, Jet and Marty Stone. Doug Williams would come down. And then it was like, well, for me, once a week weren't enough. 2 or 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon, that weren't enough.
No.
So I was in a position where I was like, well, I've got my music studios. They've got some... that's not being used on this studio's empty on that night. Come down, we'll do a bit. Whoever's around, let's do a little bit of practice. So we'd have a little bit of practice here, a little bit of practice there. Then Alex Shane started coming down. Tony started coming in on a Wednesday night. Tony Scarlo would come in London, and he'd come down a little bit earlier, and then show us stuff. Yeah, he'd show us stuff like privately. We'd have 4 or 5 of us in my music studio in the back room, and it was then like that I found out that Alex actually really does know how to wrestle. He knows a lot. He's like, "Whoa, Alex, why don't you wrestle like this on shows?" He's like, "Oh,
he came out well in for fucking years."
Yeah. So he knows his old British tech and chain and all that. And we all sort of helped each other. Lucky enough to, with my landlord on my music studios had other places that needed like clearing out and doing up before he could let them, and I was like, well, can I use them until they're let? And he's like, yeah, all right. So then I bought a ring and put this ring in one of the units, and it was like, right, now we got, whenever we can, let's all get together and do it. So you got this kind of 10 or 12 really good, like, people who've all done something in British wrestling over the last 15 years. We all kind of started out together, and we all kind of helped each other, and was kind of, well, because there was only that one school we could go to once a week. We needed more than that, so we trained.
All those guys you just mentioned were all guys who were in the magazines every month. They were the names who've paved the way for the guys today.
Yeah, and like occasionally, Johnny or Jody would pass by, and help us out. It was like, big learn pot, everyone together. It's awesome. Like that was the only way for me that I could get good enough, to even get booked on a show. It wasn't from going to a school once a week. It was from me putting myself out there and having the ability to train with loads of other people who are also really hungry and also really good. It was great at that.
Giant melting pot of wonderful wrestling minds and abilities.
Yeah, you talk about Marty Skell's like just sort of the last couple of years sort of made it really big.
He's done very well, man. I love the way he markets himself as well. I've got a lot of time for him. He's changed a lot. When he was first going to it, he was a bit arrogant little motherfucker, but he's since I've met him and chatted to him, he's grown up a lot. But the way he's marketed himself, I think, is first class.
Yeah, he took himself seriously. He's took the industry seriously, and he's marketing himself that way.
Yeah, and he loves the business as well. He's very, very good. He's very current, and he's clever as well.
Yeah, it is. And then you got Will Ospreay was one of our big successes, obviously, and he's doing amazing. He's doing amazing stuff in Japan. He was with us. He had 3 weeks off.
I did his first ever TV match with him.
Yeah,
don't tell the bride.
yeah, I've got it on my Skype banner. It's still on there.
Christ, that was a wedding to forget, but there we go, another story. Carry on.
But you talk about someone like Will, who's like famous, doing really well, comes back to London School of Lucha Libre. He's really like, oh, I'm in town. Can I come up tonight? Yeah, of course you can. And then comes and trains, and then helps out the new people there. Does
gold,
little
man. That's gold. You can't buy that shit.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. We got one of our guys, Malik. He's done 3 months or 4 months in Japan with Commissioner. And so he's got all that knowledge of the training over there. So it's like, oh, Malik. So we trained Malik from scratch. He's now really good. And then he's like, well, what did you learn from Takumi Shinoku? And then we're learning that as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like me and Greg have been in the industry a long time, and we've wrestled a lot. We go, well, if he's got something good that we can pass on and teach, let's teach that as well.
Absolutely right. Wow, that's. I'm going to wrap up shortly, Duke, because I know you're a very busy man. You've got a shitload on, but I want to ask you before you go. What are obviously your school will take the sound. By the sounds it looks like it takes care of itself, and it's just going to grow and grow and fucking grow. What are your ultimate plans for Lucha Britannia, the show? Where would you like to see that go?
Well, we've got some TV things that we're doing at the moment in the pipeline. We're probably going to be on something on Channel 4 as well. A couple of the performers are going to be on that, doing some stuff. I can't say what it is yet, but it's kind of one of the big end of year shows that goes on Channel 4. Yep. We're going to be doing a bit of stuff there. Yeah, we're filming next week on a pilot episode. We could get a 20 series deal off of 2 seasons. We've already sort of been negotiating. We're just pushing it out there, trying to get ready to go on tour and do sort of like tours around, because the Lucha Britannia show is completely different from any other wrestling show in the world. It has a different flavour, a different vibe. The characters that are on it are unique to the show. It might feature some of the wrestlers that you know and love, but you wouldn't necessarily know it's them. Like you might have Marty Skull, Will Ospreay, and Jimmy Havoc on it, but you wouldn't know it's them because they're going to be in masks and different costumes.
That's awesome. That's testament to you as well, because when those guys are coming home on breaks from New Japan to see their families, the mere fact that they want to come down and spend time at your school, that's very impressive.
No, thanks, man. It's you helped me out a lot when I started as well. And I'll never forget that. No, you've been a big influence on stuff that's been going on, and you have a love for the business and an understanding of the business, which is really good.
Well, I always like to support the guys that love it, and like I say, I've always loved your vision, and I love the crazy B-movie horror themes and just the raw look of your product. I think is second to none. But most importantly of all, I think you're probably one of the only promoters in Europe that's actually managing to transform everyday people into wrestling fans. Because there's nowhere else is doing that really. Most people have the famous Smarks coming along and everything else. You've created a little wrestling evolution in your area of people that just want to go out and have fun for a night and be like, now they're wrestling fans, and I think that's impressive.
That's my thing. I think that if it's presented correctly in the right way, everybody's a wrestling fan. They just don't know it yet. Why wouldn't you like it? Why wouldn't you like to see a monkey fight a 7-foot thug? Why wouldn't you want to see a half robot beat up a pink devil? Who wouldn't want to see that? It writes itself. It really does.
Man. Stop it, give me an hard on. Listen, what's interesting in your school, dude? Because obviously there's people out there that are going to want to come and hit you up, so where can we find you?
It's the London School of Lucha Libre. We're in Bethnal Green in East London, right near to Bethnal Green Tube Station on the Central Line. And just find us online on Facebook. We do a lot of stuff on Facebook. There's the London School of Lucha Libre page and the London School of Lucha Libre group. And then the wrestling show, the main show is Lucha Britannia. We do a family show, a junior family show called London Lucha League. And we also host XWA and Pro Wrestling Eve.
Awesome. Well, watch out for these guys, people, because they're doing huge things. Get yourselves down there, check them out. Gary, thank you ever so much for your time, my friend.
And you, thanks very much, mate. I'll see you soon.
Keep doing what you're doing,
big
brother. Love you lots.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, dude. Bye-bye.
From the man whose wife has a broken badger, thanks to Doug Williams, this is Stiff Right Hand.
Right, so that was my chat with Garry Vanderhorne. He's done really well, and if any of you guys are interested, you're in the London area, that is certainly one school I'd recommend you checking out, and his shows need to be checked out as well. It's about time. I wouldn't mind getting up there and having a look at some of those, having a night out. That would be kind of, cool. So I've had a stupid day today. I had to go to I've been having problems with my old sleeping and that, and I keep sort of dying in my sleep. Not dying, am I? Sort of like,
no, you choke yourself awake.
I choke myself awake.
Yeah, and by that I don't mean like he doesn't strangle himself awake. Cause
I do. I
stupid.
give myself a strangle wank in my sleep.
Yeah, it's that.
So I'd sort of stop breathing, and so my doctor recommended I go to a sleep apnea. What was it called? I went to
sleep apnea clinic.
A sleep apnea clinic, and so yeah, I went there today, and went to the hospital down at the Conquest in Hastings. And it was, I had to sit there and wait, and I fell asleep while I was waiting, and a woman came and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Oh, I just want to check I wasn't dead." And I said, "Well, I'm obviously in the right place, so I'm fucking asleep." And then about half an hour later, she came back and tapped me on the shoulder again, and I went, "Oh, well," all sort of fucking bewildered and that, all a bit loud. And this woman who looked like Edna Mode from, what was it, Monsters Inc.?
Edna Mode wasn't in Monsters.
What was she in then?
Edna Mode was in The Incredibles.
There you go.
Do you mean Roz from Monsters?
Nah, whatever. Edna
you
Mode.
forgot to file your paperwork.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I don't care either. But this woman looked over at me and went, "Shh," and pointed at this sign that said, "Important sleep study in progress." So they put that sign up whilst I was asleep, and then woke me up, and then not expected me not to say anything. Fun. I said, "Don't fucking shush me. I'm not at fucking school." So I only got thrown out of the sleep clinic, so that was good.
You are quite loud, Joe.
Yeah, fuck off though, do you know what I mean? Geezer my size coming out, "Oh, let's prod him," and then when he goes, "Oh, shh, how you fucking shh, cunt."
I'm going to do that to you later.
Well, I expect the same response. Fucking aggravating. And then this little Russian woman got on her tiptoes to measure me up and everything, and obviously my BMI's through the fucking roof, and the doctor I saw told me I had the hugest neck he'd ever seen, so 20.5-inch neck, so that was good, and he just couldn't comprehend my chest size and all that, and obviously that's contributing to it. But I said, well, you know, I'm a wrestler, unless I get some crippling fucking illness, expect me to remain this size. So and then he showed me a range of wonderful head masks. Wonderful, well, they're a bit like horse bridles. A wonderful array.
Kinky.
Well, it's not kinky, it's downright depressing, because it's a size, that's something you've got to wear for the rest of your life until you die. And this thing, one of them was like a upside down jock strap, a bit like Vader used to have on him. Another one had like a tap and a little oxygen thing that looked like a little winkle at the end of it. And I thought, and some of them were all coloured, and I'll have a pink one, I'll have a tartan one. Fuck off, who cares? You look a cunt, whichever way, you're sort of trying to gild the lily. They're all shit.
Let's face it, if you end up with one of those, I'm putting googly eyes on it anyway, so...
No, it's not a full-on mask, is it? It's an open facing, but it goes round the head and round the fucking chin.
You underestimate my dedication to putting googly eyes on shit.
Well, unless they're going on my eyelids.
Yep.
But I doubt I'll be getting a lot of fucking sleep that thing on my barnet anyway. It's utterly stupid. But anyway, look, if it works, it works. And the Pitbull boys have both said that their lives changed when they had that. And so, look, apparently that's what I'm going to need. And there you go. So we'll wait and see a few weeks' time. What's that thing I've got to wear?
Oh, this thing?
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called...
Fucking hell, look at the drawing on it.
Describe it.
Fucking stupid drawing of it. Looks like a... Do you know what it looks like? It's like that fucking spastic kid. What was that? What were those things you used to have in the street when you were a kid, which you have to put put change in? You know, for the scopies.
Oh, the scopies.
Yeah, the little by the spastic shop. My mum said, "Give some money
Society.
to the spastics." Yeah, so say that these days, you get in trouble. Well, even though
you don't
have
to say Mong either.
Well, there you go. You've just said spastic and Mong, so there you go. Happy days. But yeah, it looks like a spastic kid wearing some kind of breathing apparatus. Domiciliary one-stop sleep study, and so I've got to go and have this machine put on.
It straps around you, no?
Eh?
And it straps around you, look.
Well,
straps around there and there. And
there will be no love making that evening, dear.
Well, I don't know. It looks pretty sexy
well,
to me.
I might spur you on. There you go. I'll wait twice in that case. Go on, what do you know? You were upset, weren't you, about
I'm sad and I'm fucking angry.
What, just for why? Why, because I've got to wear that fucking stupid thing?
No, I'm sad and angry for two reasons. One, because fucking Trump said it's okay to...
Put that down now.
No,
Just
I've got to
leave
wave
that
it
alone.
around, just distracting me from my sadness. Because Trump said that it's okay to fucking hunt and kill...
Congress basically said that it's now legal for you to shoot hibernating bears and wolves.
Which is fucking... They're just having us so they're not killing you. They're not touching your stuff.
Listen, the thing that's fucking most ridiculous of all is that if bear hunting or wolf hunting is indeed a sport, well then where is the fucking sport in shooting something that's asleep? That is absolutely barbaric. And it's
fucking just, it makes me so sad. I'm so angry, and I fucking hate human beings because we're supposed to be looking after fucking animals, man. That's dreadful. And you know, if you're the sort of cunt that gets off with shooting an animal when it's a fucking sleep, why don't you just shoot your fucking self?
Yeah, I'm like we spoke about the hunting thing, you know, and it's like you know, the hunt goes out and they don't kill anything, well then it's all good. But you're going out hunting big animals like that, you know, it's Christ almighty, you know, we're living in an age where you could see certain animals extinct, and if that certainly ain't going to fucking help it. And yeah, it's awful. Donald Trump is a fucking, we all know what we think of him.
Not even that, our government said that as part of an EU fucking thing, that animals don't feel pain.
Welcome to news night.
I know, I'm so angry about it. I just have to get it out of my brain. But they said that animals don't feel pain. So they did a vote on animal sentience. So you tell me dogs don't feel pain?
Yeah, I know.
Bullshit. And it's just shit like that makes me so it's not
the
these are people, hundreds.
These are people who should know. These are people who should know better.
They're supposed to be our betters.
They're supposed to be our betters. They're supposed to know better than us, and they're proving that they're not absolutely the Tory party who I used to support. I don't support anymore. They made mistake after mistake, and I'm absolutely sick to the back teeth of them. They're fucking useless. The leaders fucking useless. And to be perfectly honest, they've done themselves no favours at all. So yeah, you know what? Fuck you guys. So there you go. That's that.
Yeah, that's why I'm sad and angry this week.
Well, let's not bring the whole fucking world down with it.
Well, maybe we should.
I've got a very good guest next week lined up.
Who's that then?
Jeannie Clark.
Well, fucking hell, that is a good guest.
Yeah, Lady Blossom from as my mate Leeville said his dad always knew her as Lady Bosom.
Oh, that's a good name for her, actually.
It certainly is. So yeah, she's going to be on. She's obviously the ex-wife of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we're going to be discussing her book, her autobiography, and her life in the wrestling business. So that's going to be coming at you next week.
That's a good one. I've got something I wanted to ask you.
Go on.
What do you think about that I'm a Celebrity? And that kid, and that kid had to leave for something that he said 4 years ago.
I'm not more interested in that. What I'm more interested in is the fucking eating challenge, which caused you to nearly vomit in the bed.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen anything quite as ludicrous.
That was fucking rank.
Yeah, but they were eating. All right,
they were eating. There was that massive spider. That was disgusting. That worm did.
You've
the worm
been
was the worst.
Partial to testicles in the mouth before. I know that much. Dead air.
Dead bear.
But listen.
Oh no, I'm sad again.
Yeah, you said it now. But there it is. Them eating it, not you. I don't understand. On the net, this when I was sitting there watching this, and and you need fucking.
It's not even exaggerating, either.
And you shiwied up the side of the wall.
Yeah, I was rank.
Oh fuck! Why?
No, it just did me. It was horrible. But
wasn't you doing it? Are you watching somewhere? Why did you? So
I was just really into it.
What's your glottis so fragile that you can't fucking
I can't bear the
control it.
thought of eating a fucking beachworm. That's what it is.
But what?
A beachworm.
Mealworm?
No, it was a beach. That long spaghetti fucker was not a mealworm.
That long spaghetti fucker! No, that was they were eating a huntsman spider.
Yeah, but one of the first ones was a beachworm or sandworm, whatever it was. Nasty little fucker. But tell me about what you think.
Stupid.
About that boy Jack being binned off.
I don't know. He's never heard of him.
He's one of them YouTubers, isn't he?
Yeah, what did he do?
Not a celebrity. He
What
just
did he
does
do?
YouTube videos. And
He said the N-word.
He said the N-word 4
Norman,
years ago.
how dare you? He said
the N-word that rhymes with squigger.
Ah.
That one.
That one.
Yeah, and then he also said someone was a retard.
Well, so what? They might have been both of those things.
But do you think it's like a little bit shit that
Well, they
people
would have
have to
known about
go
it.
all the way
Why
through
did they
someone's
wait?
Twitter just so that
No,
there's...
I think it's stupid because I think they should have done their homework and they should have checked. Fuck me, it was what, 5, 6 years ago? They should have...
Well, he's a fucking kid, isn't he? Was he like 21 years
well,
old?
don't have anyone on then who's only have pensioners on then who haven't got fucking social media. 'Cause everyone's got fucking skeletons in their closet. Everyone's got pictures of fucking cocks and tits and pussy on their phone, and you know everyone's looked at.
Oh, you have a picture of cocks and tits and pussy on
yes,
your phone,
I've got all my friends' penises and A to Z of whose they are.
Oh, is that like a special folder?
Yes.
Okay, what's it called?
Oh, penis one. Oh, damn! I've told you now. But no, everyone's got shit. Social media. No, everyone has always at some point done or said something they probably regret. God knows I haven't. And,
yeah, but do you think that's like the right reaction?
No,
Because
what?
of,
Throw them off the show?
Yeah, reactionary people going, oh, God,
No, I've
the
told you
N-word.
before. It's a very, very boring outrage nation. They're very boring. And I hate you all. It's always my right to be outraged. It's my right to outrage you. I'm doing my job.
You're doing a good job.
I like to upset people and offend people, and that's.
Imagine if you went on it, what they'd dig up.
I said to someone the other day, and I said, I said I can't remember. I said a series of words, and I said, "Oh, that's really offensive." And I said, "It's a series of words being said on a planet." Which is a true thing. They said, no, it's just more than that, Stuart. It's more than that. When someone says Stuart afterwards, or not Stu, I know I'm in trouble.
I did that to you.
Yeah, Stuart.
You
yes,
won an
Stuart.
argument with me. It's one of the one and only times you've won an argument with me was, it's just a word someone said on the planet.
Well, it's true.
Well, that's true. So,
it is actually.
so
if you
you
boil
win.
if you boil it down to that, it's just a word, a little time with specs. Especially you.
Fuck you, buddy.
Fuck you, buddy. We're specs on a fucking planet, and someone said something. If you're offended by language that made in a series in an order,
It's just a noise, isn't it?
It's a noise. It might as well have gone.
How fucking dare you?
Witten Southern Wittenhow. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you just crossed the fucking
and
line.
who's to say?
You piece of work.
Who's to say? It's just bullshit. If you, if you literally I never thought I never thought we'd see the day where we're actually grown adults offended by a series of words. Is that what a nanny state we've become? Fuck off.
Well, it's like virtue signalling, isn't it? Like, I wouldn't use that word because that word's racist, and I'm not a racist person.
What even is that?
Look at me. So it's like... Well, it's just like
take
what
a swig of cream soda.
well, let's have a listen to it. But it's exactly what I just explained. So it's just like... Oh, well, you can't say that because it's sexist, and I wouldn't be sexist because that's so sexist. Look, everybody look at this sexist, and look at how not sexist I am by pointing this out. Virtue signalling. So that's
Well,
just
I've
like...
never heard of it.
Well, it's because I just made it up, I think.
Did you?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, don't come here and say
I
things that aren't real.
But that's what it is it not? It's just everybody fucking posturing like, oh, well, this is what I believe. Look at what a good person I am. And it's just pious bullshit. I hate it.
I think too many people get upset, and we've said this before.
Well, we've said this before as well. I think that everything should be up for fucking grabs or nothing. And there's no grey area, like you can joke about everything.
Yeah, but I said that about, that's another thing I got upset. I said, I think that should be like that with sex. We should all just better jump on like dogs. And if I want to sniff someone's bum, you better do it.
No, because that's assault.
Oh, bollocks.
And that is a whole different set of
Teach
rules.
me the ways, I'm all confused.
I'm trying to, but you're a terrible student.
I think we should, if you like something, sniff them, and if they don't shout at you back, get on.
That's pretty much how we met. Hey.
I wish you'd stop sniffing my arse.
Yeah. I sniffed your bum 9 years ago.
Oh, well,
It's more like you sniffed mine.
it's 9:15 in the evening. Let's do it again for old times' sake.
Yay!
Yeah, 9 years we've been together. 9 years.
No, we've not been together 9 years.
What happened?
We've
9
known
years?
each other 9 years.
I met you 9 years
That
ago.
was that LDN show.
That was LDN show. I was on Sanjay allowed women to the show.
Before I ruined that.
Back in the days when you used to pay people. Them was good old days.
Aww. Memories.
So anyway, I suppose better wrap it up.
Do you want to?
Yeah, well, we've given
We
these.
haven't done a cunt of the week, you know.
No, we haven't. No, I'm not going to.
Well, I'm disappointed.
Well, so it means we'll do a giant cunt of the week next week.
Can we do a double cunt?
Double cunt? Yeah, double cunt of the week. Well, this has been a double episode this week because we fucked everyone.
You're giving them too much content.
I am really.
Yeah, you're too good. You're too good to these people.
I think
That's
so.
what they say about you. That Stuart Allen is too nice.
That's like when I said to that. So I legitimately had a gripe about. So I said to Big John. The problem is, John, I'm too fucking nice to people.
And what did he say?
He said, "Yeah, that's exactly the problem, Stu. You're too fucking nice." Yes. Said no one ever. Apart from me. So anyway, you got anything to add before we go?
No.
I didn't think so. Good. Okay, so good night from her.
Yeah, me.
Good night from me.
And him.
All the pants. And Toodle Pip.
Love you.
If you have been affected by another subject matter or topics covered on this week's Stiff Right Hand podcast, please call 0800 Go Fuck Yourself.